Buenas tardes, señores y señoritas. I'm coming in here today because I feel like speaking about an art that the kiwicha behind me is very skilled at, which is the art of standing tall. For us humans, also known as pride. And you might feel like it's a strange topic to speak about. And I feel like that it's exactly why I want to talk about it, because I found in my own journey it is an energy I haven't looked much into, and I've actually blocked out of my being, and it is part of my path of becoming whole to welcome it back, and I believe that that might be the case for some of you as well. My own journey with this began with the body, with noticing that I had a pattern of standing hunched, which had created pain in my shoulders and in the upper side of my back. And little did I know, as I was embarking on exploring what that pain is about, that I would encounter the question of pride. And the first thread that I encountered there had to do with my cultural heritage of being a Bulgarian and growing up in an environment where I would see people, without necessarily being conscious of it, behaving or speaking in ways that favored staying small. And the first thing I saw when I started exploring this was that this had a lot to do with our history of our ancestors, which were subject to the dominance of the Ottoman Empire. We had these sayings about the blade of wheat that would basically elevate above the others, being the one most likely to be cut off, basically. And lots of other small attitudes and sayings and behaviors that actually meant that whoever would exhibit this quality of standing tall and being proud of something, being labeled as being too full of themselves. Like, who the hell are they? Who the hell am I to stand tall? And I'm not sure if this is something that applies just to Bulgarians. It might be that it's present in other cultures in one way or another. But what I found was that there is another layer that goes underneath that is even more fascinating. And that layer is really about a way of remaining immature, remaining in the energy of being a child, that is staying small and projecting the parental figure onto the world around. And that can exhibit itself in looking at someone else and feeling like they're better, they're bigger than me in one way or another. And it can manifest also in a desire to create something that is bigger than us, so that we can feel small in comparison to it. Or it might manifest itself by a desire to live or work in a place where there's big buildings or big corporations or big things around us, so that we can feel small in comparison to them. And it is fascinating once you start looking at this pattern, how many ways there are in which we favor experiences which make us feel small. And also, I've seen that it expresses itself in the reverse, where we might feel ourselves as bigger than perhaps a certain being, a mouse, a mosquito, a virus. And right now I feel like our world is being shattered because this small virus suddenly isn't so small. And this perception of it being small is being challenged by the significance we assign to it. And I feel that's why it's a very fertile time to actually check into this relationship with the world around us, with the beings around us, with the people around us, and explore what those relationships would be like if we would allow ourselves to stand tall and to see them standing tall in front of us on the same level, which I really see as a stepping into maturity. And there is another interesting thread which has to do with what actually is pride and what does it mean, because I feel it carries a lot of stigma, a lot of conditioning around it being not such a favorable emotion. And what I've discovered, actually, I'm very grateful to be Bulgarian for this one, actually, because in our language, the word for pride is gordost. And gordost actually originates from the words grd or grdi, which means breast or chest. So it's really about standing with our chest forward. And our chest is where our heart is. So I have been through this process of really redefining pride in a way that is about maturity and is about moving with the heart forward and allowing myself to stand tall and witness the beings and the people around me and the creations that I'm part of as something that is standing tall in front of me on the same level. And if you're listening to this, I would like to really invite you to look at your own posture and to look at this energy of pride and how much of it are you allowing into your life, and what do you understand it to be. And if you find that there is a part of you that is judging it as an emotion or as an experience you might be having, allowing that part to show you the way to discriminate of when that pride is actually something that's coming from the heart or something that's coming from somewhere else, and welcoming the heart-based experience of pride into your life, and allowing yourself to see yourself standing tall and the beings around you standing tall. I hope this has been useful, and I wish you a beautiful day, afternoon, whatever it is that you have ahead of you. Greetings from myself and the Kiwicha.